House Intelligence Committee Chairman and Ohio Republican Congressman Mike Turner joins us now. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for joining us. So you see this China aggression escalating clearly with these latest developments. The tensions are mounting. So how should we be responding?
Well, Sandra, you're absolutely right that their aggression is being evident in the Taiwan Strait, but it's even being evident right here in the United States, where we had the Chinese balloon that traversed across the United States. There was a spy balloon, and then we found that they had actual police stations where they were operating stations within the United States, intimidating United States citizens and residents within the United States. This shows that China knows no bounds. International waters, international airspace, even our own sovereignty has been at risk. And as you were noting, that this being the anniversary of the Tiananmen massacre of that square, we thought from that time that there might be an ability for China through trade to become closer to the United States. They're going farther. As you looked at what President Xi just said with President Putin, they want to go back, change that hasn't happened in 100 years. Well, that's really the fight between authoritarianism and democracy. What this administration needs to do is stand up to China. They need to stand up in every way, certainly strengthen our military presence, but they need to call them out. And when the president let that balloon go all the way across the United States before he took action, he gave them a permissive environment. Same thing with police stations where they continued to operate without any real action from the United States in response. This permissiveness from the administration has got to stop.
All right, so in the meantime, you've got these jets, Chinese jets buzzing by ours, warships right in front of our destroyer. The president said he seeks competition, not conflict. How do you respond to that?
Well, the problem is he's already in conflict. You can't just ignore what's happening with China, or you're missing what President Xi himself has said. I mean, this is a fight between authoritarianism and democracy. He sees this as an opportunity to join with Putin and to, as he said, put back a change that hasn't happened for 100 years. This administration understands they're already in conflict. If they want to get to an area of competition and cooperation, they're going to have to put significant pressure on
Well, the
China.
economic discussion is a big part of this, right? You just heard Rep. Mike Gallagher talking about cutting economic ties with Beijing. This is also going to be a big discussion in the next presidential election. I asked GOP candidate Vivek Ramaswamy in the last couple hours, I should say, about how far he's willing to go to cut off China. Listen. Do you believe any U.S. corporations should be doing business in China? How far are you willing to go?
I'm willing to go the direction of total decoupling. I would ban most U.S. businesses from doing business in China unless and until the CCP reforms its behaviors. I'm talking about actual real measures. No data theft, no intellectual property theft, no more turning our own companies into your geopolitical pawns to do your bidding.
Are you willing to go that far, Mr. Chairman?
I think those statements are very premature, and they're certainly part of just a presidential campaign rhetoric. I mean, currently, we need to make certain that our supply chains are protected, that we reshore critical infrastructure. But at the same time, engagement with China is currently part of our whole economic structure. What's not part of our structure is just this permissiveness where we're allowing their aggressiveness while there are no consequences on the economic side. We need to make sure this administration stands up for the United States, says we're not just going to concede both our sovereign territory and international airspace to China's aggressiveness and their own will.
Very interesting. One would assume this is going to be a big part of the debates and a big part of the overall presidential election coverage coming up shortly. Thanks so much to you, Mr. Chairman, for joining us. Mike Turner. All right.
Thank you.